Hey everyone, I'm Victor Dwyer, and today I'm going to show you how to counter the iOS 14 update and really have one single source of truth. Right now, Facebook has been over-attributing all their sales. We have all the other ad platforms under-attributing all their sales. It's very, very difficult to have one single source of truth when all of this. And yes, Google Analytics is a good source of truth, but it doesn't pull in spend very well, at least on an automatic basis. And there are tools that will be able to take all this data, compile it into one, and make it where it's very easy to understand. So that tool is going to be called Attribution, and let's go ahead and dive right in, and I'll show you what the back end of the tool looks like. So this is what kind of attribution really looks like at its core. So you'll be able to really see that what platform and what is working the best here. So for example, you can see that how much is Twitter performing, or if you wanted to see how much Facebook is performing, and you can see on a campaign by campaign basis of see which ones are performing the best, which ones are generating the most revenue for their particular amount of spend. And then these are the things that you'll be able to see, and you'll be able to go down on a per source basis, and you'll be able to see how much you're spending toward each particular platform, and you'll be able to see what the revenue that was increased from that particular platform. So very, very cool. So yes, you would be able to get the conversion data from Google Analytics, yes. But you don't get the spend data all in one place. And it's it's super difficult to do that on a campaign basis. And attribution does all this for you automatically. So very, very cool how it is able to compile all this data and make it super, super valuable. And that's kind of what it is on a source by source basis. And what you can do is you can actually also do a cohort is what they call this. So you can also see is like, okay, what particular days of the month are performing the best? And you'll be able to go through with that and really dial down and see what are the best days that are performing. And you'll be able to go through this process and really sort this however you want to, that is the most valuable for you at the end of the day. And then the next one is the first time purchasers report. And you can also see the first time and repeat purchases. So if you have a very lifetime value driven product, this will be super, super actionable for you. So you can see that what is your ROI when it comes to your first time purchasers, and what is your ROI when it comes to repeat purchasers? Is that something you want to increase more on? And you'll be able to see what is the difference between your first time purchasers data and your repeat purchasers conversion data, because having your repeat purchasers are super, super important, because that is going to determine what the lifetime value is. And if you have a very subscription based product and you have a low lifetime value, that means you need to run some more advertising campaigns retargeting your current customers to have a lot more success there. So please make sure that if there's a huge discrepancy of people that are purchasing your product for the first time and not repeat buying, you need some type of email campaign, some type of ad campaign retargeting them to really get them to buy again. And on Amazon, it's very typical to have a 20 to 30% repeat purchase rate on Amazon. That's very, very standard. But on the direct to consumer side, it's much, much lower than that, but you're able to do some fancier things to retarget them. So that makes it where you can increase that as much as possible, is where I'm going with that. And you'll be able to have some really graphical ways to represent this data and how it really is increasing or decreasing over time. You'll be able to see how much your repeat purchase rate is going up, going down, whatever your first time customers, and you'll be able to see that. And you'll be able to also break that down by source, which is even more amazing. Why does this matter? Why do I care, Victor? So the reason why you want to break this down by source is because you might be generating a much higher lifetime value from your Facebook people rather than your Google people. So when people go to Google and purchase, they might buy once and never buy again. Meaning that, let's say you spend $50 a day on Google and you spend $50 a day on Facebook, okay? But let's say on Facebook, your lifetime value is $150 per customer, But on Google, your lifetime value is only $50 per customer. So what that means is you need to be spending triple the amount on Facebook, is what that tells you. But historically, it's been very, very difficult to grab that data. There's a lot of data exports. There's a lot of things in order to get that data. But what they have is they have it very neatly created in a way that you don't have to worry about that. So you'll be able to track that lifetime value, and you'll be able to see the repeat purchase revenue. And for whatever channel you see here that has the highest repeat purchase rate, you'll be able to increase the spend on that particular channel, making it where you have very, very effective ad campaigns that are going on. And if you're not looking at this data, you're just continuing doing the same thing, spending $50 a day on ads that potentially might not work. But it all comes down to actionable data. If you're actually utilizing this data where it makes it where it's useful, you're going to make better decisions and better strategies from that data, which is super, super critical in this. And that's going to be and you can basically break this out however you want and see what is a lot of the repeat purchase side of this coming from, and you'll be able to see that very easily from here. Next thing we're going to move on to is we're going to see the channel performance up here. So we'll be able to see what the return on the investment as a whole is, and when it comes down to the attributed revenue from it, what was your return on investment, what was your advertising spend, whatever it may be. And you also see the cost per sale, whatever that may be, and you can see the graphical representation of that over time. Very, very neat. And what I love is, this is my favorite chart, you can easily see is how much are you spending and how much are you gaining per channel. So you'll be able to see, wow, Facebook is super profitable right now. For every $50,000 we spend, we get about $1 million back. So obviously, looking at this data, I would want to spend a lot more on Facebook, is what this data tells me. And Twitter, not as profitable, is what this is showing. And you'll be able to take in all this data and really see it in a graphical way, saying just, hey, Facebook is just absolutely killing it for us. We need to really increase the amount of spend we push on that. And that's going to make it where you have a lot more success there. And then you'll also be able to see from a graphical representation of first touch, last touch, linear, and position-based models. And basically first touch meaning that when someone first comes in, so someone comes into your Facebook ad, they never heard of you, they click on your Facebook ad, check out your website, and they purchase. That is a first time when someone first touches you and purchases. Last purchase is, let's say someone clicked on a Google ad and then either purchased or didn't purchase, and then all of a sudden they go through your Facebook ad and then they purchase. Okay, and then that would be a last touch model. So all the spend, when you have a sale from your last touch, it would be attributed to your Facebook ad. Linear, I'm not even sure what linear model is. And then position based, I believe that's with Google. And then time decay is basically within a certain date range that it will decay over time. Usually in the marketing world, we usually just use first touch, last touch models. That's what we usually utilize. And obviously attribution is a little bit fancier, so it tracks more models than that. And eventually you'll be able to get into like paths. What are these consumers? What are the certain paths that they're going on, and seeing if they're going from Google to Facebook or whatever it may be. You can get into the Pathfinder and you can really see the certain flow that they're going through. And you'll be able to also be able to go through that process in the Pathfinder. And you'll be able to see what certain users are working. And they even have affiliates for when you start doing affiliates up in the top right here. You'll also be able to see like really generate links, specific links that are attributed to that single influencer program. We have had more and more clients starting using influencer programs. And this is going to be a very, very big hot topic. And you actually be able to attribute those influencer campaigns within your attribution platform, making it where you have another whole segment of potential traffic that you'll be able to track on your influencer program. And you'll be able to see how much you're spending behind that influencer program and how much revenue you're generating off of it on a per influencer basis. It's amazing. Like, it really is. They'll be able to really go on the whole granular. They really show you the surface level data to really say, hey, this is how it's performing on an overall basis. And if you really want to get into the weeds, you can really dive in to see how are you performing on a source basis, on an influencer basis, on a campaign basis. And if you really, really want to dive into it, you're able to go to the in-depth level. So this makes it where it's your single source of truth. You have a lot of data to work with you and a lot of actionable data to go off of. So it's really amazing how they were able to do this, and it has a clean UI. Most of these tools do not have clean UIs. They were built from developers for developers, but this is actually a very neat tool when it comes to user interface. I've seen some horrible user interfaces, and this is spectacular. So I will say that there's a lot of opportunity here when it comes to if you're just using Google Analytics or whatever it may be, that you're not being able to pull in the spend. You're not going to see it by campaign basis. You're not going to get that real-time data of automating that spend and pulling that in. And having a tool like this will be able to make it where you have a lot more actionable decisions and able to make them a lot faster than your competition, which will make it where you can increase your sales. So hopefully that helps. If you have any other questions, I'd be happy to help them in any way possible. Let me know if you have any. Thanks, guys. Bye.